The Deck Network. Build a deck.
Hi, welcome to the Deck Network. I'm your host, Mike Danzilio, and we have the loose cannon right here.
Co-host Matt Dalton here at the Deck Network. It's all decks all the time.
So, Matt, what do you think about today's show?
I'm excited about it.
It's a little interesting. We have a video later. Someone came around with a tricked out van.
A van?
And so we'll get to that.
I gotta see that.
But before we do that, let's get to the emails. Okay, hello, hoping you can answer a few questions I have. Currently, we have a 12 by 16 plain rectangle deck with dry storage underneath. It has plywood with Duradeck vinyl onto it. The seams in the vinyl came apart, and now we have a lot of damage. The whole floor has heaved, so it needs to be replaced. This happened after only 2.5 years from install. We are considering doing Trex Rain Escapes or some type of paint roll on plastic or rubber coating.
What's dry storage? What is it?
If they have a second floor deck, just like we have our side here at the studio, right?
Outside the
now, we have a
network.
second floor deck, and we want to be able to be underneath it without having any water going through. So my concerns are, I live in Alberta, Canada, so I would like to have it withstand the heat, ice, snow. I have not found anyone who has done the Trex Rain Escapes before. Also concerned that the paint on stuff would crack with the weather changes and expanding and contraction. Any info would be appreciated. Thanks for the email. The Trex Rain Escapes is a solid vinyl plastic product without any paint on it. So we have a little display that our friends at Trex always give around to some of the retailers. This is a super thick plastic without paint on it. This is to mimic that butyl tape that they have, but I think that this product would definitely hold up for what she's trying to do over there. And
it could be retrofitted on with the deck already
you would
there?
have to take the decking off. I don't know if she's able to do that with what she has, but
those Canadians are resilient, though. I'm sure she could do it.
Yeah, you know, she sent me another email afterwards asking me about another product. And hey, if you watch this show long enough, you're going to hear me say this. Stick with the name brands. When you buy a name brand, you're buying a product that has already been tested plenty of times. Okay, when you're buying a deck, you are, of course, investing in that company, but you're also gambling that they're going to be there if there's ever a warranty issue.
And odds are the issue isn't going to be in the first couple of weeks. It's going to be several years down the road.
It's going to be further down the road. And the bigger companies, hey, everyone has had some issues with products over time. The big companies, TimberTech, Trex, they pay the claims. They fix the product.
They stand behind it.
Some of these other companies, these smaller companies, they close the business, leaving the homeowners without a warranty, and retailers like myself with, who knows, $50,000 worth of materials that we have to pay for that has no warranty, which is actually worthless. So I don't buy anything but the name brand products, because after a while you get to know that the name brands are going to be there when you need them.
Look at this. This is an investment. It's something that you're going to be in it for the long haul. Don't be penny wise and dollar foolish.
Well, she has to do this the second time, so she may have thought she saved some money the first time, but she didn't. Okay. Hello, Mike. This is a related email.
Same person?
No, different person.
Emails flying in here.
I am presently investigating products to keep the space under my outside deck dry. I have watched your videos on Trex Rain Escapes and TimberTech Dry Space. By the way, Matt was very good. There is also another product
My mom
called
sent this one in. So.
Dry Space, which is installed under the deck. I have heard Dry Snap. I have heard some claims
Dry Snap?
that installing a product under the deck may trap water beneath your floor, and the deck joist may cause them to rot. When using the Trex product, you have not to have to worry about the pitch and the spacers and this and that. Any insight would be appreciated. And she's replacing the whole deck so she can choose any product that she would like. Okay, I reply, thanks for the email. The nature of the Trex Rain Escapes will keep the water away from the wood. I've never seen Dry Snap products, so I cannot comment on it.
Dry Snap, never heard of that one.
Same type of
Another
situation.
off-brand.
Stick with the name brands. They may cost you 10% more, but like as of the previous letter, she only has to do it once. So
no, we're talking about Oreo cookies compared to Hydrox cookies. Go with the Oreo. It's a tastier cookie. You know what I mean?
yeah, you can buy a Chevy or a Toyota, and because they've been around a
Or
long
a
time.
Range Rover if you're here at the Deck Network.
It's just basic transportation for,
You gotta get from point A to
your,
point B.
humble correspondent. And
Great emails, great questions. That music only means one thing, Mike. It's time to show us your deck.
All right.
One of the more
today's-
popular features here. We do the rating surveys and studies, and this feature is one of the highly rated
We're having some fun
components.
with this. We're meeting some nice people.
We're seeing some really great decks.
Okay, this is not the
pretty
completed.
cool.
This isn't the completed project.
There's more to this
Yes,
deck.
this is all about halfway through, or a little more than halfway through the project. This is by All Island Decks here on Long Island, and
Nice.
it is a contractor, good guy by the name of Bob Lamontanaro.
Nice.
And he's from Hop Hog. That's out in your area.
Oh yeah. Originally by the Native Americans, spelled Hophog, Hop Hog. Spelled differently these days. We'll get into a little bit
Okay.
of the backstory on it, but
But okay, this deck
What
is
type of decking we got?
This is a Timber Tech.
I like the colors there.
Harvest bronze, a nice earthy color with it has the mountain cedar rails with the black balusters. Okay, that deck in and of itself would be certainly worthy of being on
That's nice.
the Show Us Your Deck segment. But what makes this deck somewhat interesting or special is that he built
Whoa.
this arbor pergola space where he has a retractable type, I don't know if I want to call it an awning or some sort of system underneath it, and it's on these tracks, and he said he built it around these.
That's custom.
Yeah,
that is
so
cool.
I
looking.
guess you just grab it and pull it back. I don't know if it goes all the way to one side or the other, or how it works to the middle, but you can have as much or as little sun or shade as you desire.
Keep the elements out. You know, you don't need a seagull flying on top, letting the fallings hit you. You know, if you're sitting on your deck, that's a great way to kind of combat those things. It looks nice, and do you think that would affect the stain and the fade on this deck? Because it's going to be blocking the sun out from it.
Well,
So
it's
that's
going to keep the sun off it, so the sun is really the only thing that's ever going to hurt
Yeah.
anything. So no, but it's a good-looking deck, nice earthy colors. That's what we see an awful lot of those. You know, they have a white house, and it's surprising to see that they have this that color deck. But nonetheless, it looks great. Bob did a great job.
That's really cool with the roof there. You don't see that every day. Now, that's
No,
definitely
you
a
don't.
conversation piece
but
right
Bob
there.
was telling me that he used an awful lot of the fascia boards
I
to
can
do
imagine.
that.
Yeah. And Bob is going to get himself
Now, that's the end. It's a little premature there.
a Deck Network mug, Bob. Congratulations. You got a coming a mug over your way, and the music there signifies the end of the Show Us Your Deck segment. Another quality Show Us Your Deck installment. If you have a deck that you constructed or someone that you know that has a really nice deck, have them send the pictures in, and just like Bob here, we'll get them up on the big screen, and maybe you too will be getting a Deck Network mug very soon.
Okay, let's get into the video.
This involves a van. This involves. I haven't seen this yet. This involves Mike and a man in a van. So I gotta
Well,
see
I
that.
grew up in the 70s, and the vans were pretty good when I grew up.
Shag carpet, disco ball. You know what we're talking about.
Okay. All right, so let's get right into that right now. Hi, this is Mike from the Deck Network, and today I'm working at No Maintenance Decks. And with my job as a decking retailer, I get the privilege of meeting a lot of innovative methods of sales, and I have a real good one here today. And we have Benjamin Kaufman from Superior Systems, and he is going to give us a little tour of what he has. And first take a look at the method that they are using to show their products. Beautiful van, it's all set up. Sometimes you see people with trailers, and this is definitely a better way of doing it. Benjamin, how are you today?
I'm doing fine, Mike. Thank you. How about yourself?
Oh yeah, well, it's a beautiful day. It's not
is a
raining,
beautiful day.
snowing, or anything else that we're used to here in the Northeast.
Spring has sprung.
So you're from Pennsylvania somewhere, aren't you?
New Holland, Pennsylvania.
And all the products are locally made.
They are locally made in New Holland, Pennsylvania.
Great, okay, let's take a look inside.
So we're going to start right here in the beginning. We're showing our basic 1000 series T-rail top with a 2x4 bottom with a square baluster, a vinyl rail that has a very heavy gauge aluminum channel inserted in both top and bottom rail. It will meet all codes. There's so many different baluster choices to choose from, 4 standard colors. We have our 3000 series with a more decorative top with the same 2x4 bottom with the same baluster choices. The balusters are interchangeable between the 2 series. We have the 36-inch high railing for residential. We have the 42-inch high for commercial, for high rises and so forth. Every need can be met in this railing system. We have our turn design newel posts. We have post mounts that meet and exceed all codes. along with another series that is an upgraded series from our 1 and 3000 series. This is our 4000 series. It has a larger top and bottom flat top rail. The balusters are larger. Everything about this system is just bigger from the 1 and the 3000 series. And then we upgrade to the 5000 series, which is even bigger yet. We have nice decorative top and bottom rail. We have some nice, about 2 1/4 inch square balusters here, along with some very nice 6-inch design newel posts and structural posts and columns. And upgrading to the 7000 series, everything's just spectacular, bigger, huge. On this system, 8-inch columns, 3 3/4 inch balusters. The top rail is 6.5 inches wide with a flat top. Just very, very adorable for your large Victorian homes and so forth.
Okay, I see you have some aluminum on the other side over here.
Yes, we do. We have a very large variety of aluminum products. Again, this is all made in the USA. It's made right there in New Holland, Pennsylvania. This is a powder-coated aluminum system. This system here is replacing a lot of the wrought iron that's been out there in the past 20 years or so. This system will not rust away, such as we've seen in the past with like the painted steel and so forth, because it's aluminum. So even if it scratches, it will not rust. We do have a couple different series here. We have our American flat top series with textured finish in black, white, and bronze. We have 11 baluster choices for that system. And then moving along here, we have the Arabian series with a more decorative top with the satin finishes. This comes in 5 standard colors: black, white, bronze, Kona, and brownstone, which actually matches AZEK decking colors. We do have another series which is bigger. The Lancaster series comes in 5 baluster choices, 3 standard finishes: black, white, and bronze. And if you notice here, we have several different post sizes as well. We have a 2.5 inch, we have a 3 1/4, a 4 inch. The 2.5 being the most popular because it's the least obstructive. The smaller post is much more popular, and the smaller rail is much more popular because it's a less obstructive rail in the marketplace, and it has a contemporary look to it.
When I speak with a lot of railing manufacturers, especially the large Trexes and TimberTechs, they're telling me a lot that in the western part of the U.S., this is where you see a lot of the steel, aluminum, and because people want a smaller profile. And a few times a month, people will come into my store and ask me for a smaller profile. Okay, what else I really like about this, I see these beautiful LEDs. John, if you can really take a look at that, can you see that? It's really nice. It has a nice little shine on it. That would be great for riser boards on stairs. Okay, I have one little section over here that we haven't gotten yet, and this is really what caught my eye when I first took a look at what we had inside. We have some of these structural PVC columns, and I better get out of the way because this is my job to tell you about this, because I really don't know about it.
Yeah, on the structural columns, we have the 8-inch tapered round column, which is a vinyl structural column. It's a low maintenance product. We also have this in a 10-inch round tapered column. They come in 9 and 10 foot standard. The load bearing weight rating on this column is 18,000 pounds of load bearing weight and a 1,600 pound uplift. These columns come in our 4 standard colors: white, tan, almond, and clay in the vinyl. And the nice part about these columns, Mike, is they never need to be painted. There's a lot of structural columns out there that once they're in place, you need to paint it and then you need to maintain them.
Well, that's the thing with the fiber cement columns, is that they're strong and they look good, but they definitely have to be painted. Now let's take a look at this one. This was the one that really caught my attention, and for second floor decks, this would really work out well.
Well, simply what we did on this post, Mike, is we took a 6-inch recessed panel porch post, and then we took the 8-inch recessed panel newel post, which I have right here as well, and they're simply slid over top of each other, and then there's blocking put in there to support that bottom, but your actual structural part is inside the 6-inch, and it has the same load rating as your 8 or 10-inch column: 18,000 pounds of load bearing weight, 1,600 pounds of uplift. This is just a beautiful Victorian looking post. Works great on almost any application, especially on pergolas and so forth. We see a trend in this post on pergolas. It's been a big sell on pergolas. But then we also have, you know, the more decorative, the traditional looking posts in a 5-inch and a 6-inch as well. There's just, you know, we're only showing 3 columns here, but in all reality we have about 15 different styles to choose from, and they're all structural.
Well, Benjamin, you really did a great job on it, and this is how these products are brought to the marketplace. And again, I love innovation, and this is a very innovative idea of how to come out and show someone like myself, an owner of one of these stores. I want to thank you very much for giving me a little tour around there.
Thank you,
and,
Mike.
welcome to the Deck
What did you
Network.
think of that video? That was pretty wild. I'll tell you what, it's not every day that you're going to be seeing railing and decking featured in a van.
Well, as a student of business that I am,
a pupil of business.
Innovation in marketing, that's what you need for business.
You got it.
That is an innovative method of bringing the products to the different retailers so that they can see exactly what you have. I mean, it could take a little while and put these things up inside someone's office.
It got a little tight in there, but you were maneuvering around
it was
just
pretty
fine.
tough. And as we always say here on the Deck Network, a picture tells 1,000 words. Now, someone could bring a photo of that railing. A video, we always know that a video, when you watch a video, you retain 80% more from that video than you do from that picture and those 1,000 words.
This video that you're watching right now, you're retaining 80% more than if you were just reading it.
Yeah, if we were just, so it's...
Plus, you wouldn't have the benefit of looking at me and Mike on the internet.
Benjamin did a nice job. You see, that's why it's like when I go to all these home shows or the IBF show in Las Vegas. Here we go.
Well, you know, I get stuck here. I don't know if you've seen this before, but I get stuck here in the studios. Mike is going to all these extravagant, beautiful, off-locale places, and I'm here. He did have a home show in Hempstead he wanted me to go to, but save the tropical places for me, Mike. That's when I want to get out there. But that's a sour grapes on my end. Back to Ben in the van. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, so Ben did... I really enjoy meeting people like this because these are the guys that know these products. I mean, I had to do some trimming on this because Ben just kept going on and on.
Yeah, well, he's passionate about it.
Yeah,
you can't blame him for that.
He had a real good time with it. All right, that's it for today's show. I mean, it was. I really enjoyed the segment on the Show Us Your Deck. The letters are great.
The letters are great. The man in the van, that was good stuff. If you have any questions or comments about this video or any of the videos that you're watching here on the Deck Network, it's Mike at the Deck Network, Matt at the Deck Network. If you want a mug, you have to send in a picture of your deck. We'll get that out to you.
I would prefer to just see decks built this year. I don't want to see 10-year, 15-year-old decks or all, but new decks on Show Us Your Deck. Built.
Maybe we could do a new segment like decking through like history. Maybe like, you know, did Christopher Columbus have a deck? Did George Washington build a deck out of cherry trees or something? Maybe we could do something like that. I started doing that project. I wanted to talk about the history, the evolution. Yeah.
Did you know that the decks as we know it have only been around since the 70s.
What was it before that?
Before they were smaller decks, porches types things. But
were the cavemen building decks out of like woolly mammoth tusks or anything like that?
They may have. They would have been awfully nice looking. That's for sure. Yeah. But I wanted to do a video, a project like that. I have a guy that I sell decking to, and he's 75, and I call him the pterodactyl of the decking business. So he is
the
pterodactyl. He's definitely.
So he was there when the decks,
when they really
got evolution.
I started doing decks in like '81,
and it was all cedar.
Cedar or vertical grain fir, which is a little heavier and thicker than the cedar. And just pressure treated wood was just coming into use back then. But maybe I can rekindle that. I started working on this, and I got some roadblocks because some people from different publications thought that I was encroaching upon their territories.
Well, yeah, maybe some people are protective over that information, but I think it would be great to bring that to the surface here at the Deck Network. And that brings another good point. If you have any ideas or topics that you want us to cover here, you can do it via email and just
we got so many videos and shows planned. It's very difficult. At this time of year, it's very busy inside the office.
Plus, we are in full swing of the decking season. A lot of decks going up and down the northeast coast here of America.
All right, let's wrap this. Today's show's up right now. Thanks for viewing.
Ciao for now.
Have a great day.
We'll see you next time. Bye.